can I do is like I'm really enjoying my Wild West stuff, so I want to put it up and have it out. And this piece is going to be kind of a centerpiece. So I've got like the gold mine, I've got the treasury stagecoach, I've got the stagecoach, I've got the cowboy camp that I'll probably build next, okay, after this one. So we'll do another Lumibricks set before we go into some other. I got some generic like coffee shops and other things, and I might try to do live streaming within the week where I could do like little hour, 2 hour builds, something like that at night. So we'll kind of work towards that as we get into it. But again, new to live streaming on TikTok, so you guys be nice to me, okay? I see I got a viewer here. I'm trying to see who that is up there. Oh, I've been chatting with you for a while. All right, so at this point, we are in bags 8, 9, and 10, and that's us finishing up all of the top of the tent. I'm going to go here and fix my stream over here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, so that way we get a table version of it. Now, for TikTok, if you want my affiliate link for the Lumibricks store, and it does help out the channel tremendously. You can actually find that in my bio after we're done with live streaming. After we're done with live streaming, it is in my bio, and I'll remind again, it's in my bio in my link tree, and then in the link tree I've got my Lumibricks tag there. You can go to there, check out the shop. Even if you go and just click and look at the shop there, that helps me out tremendously. You have no idea. For those in my YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, boom, over there in the comments section, I've got my affiliate link right there for you. You can also find it from my link tree. So anytime you want to find the link tree, it is linktr.ee/TayRayGun. TayRayGun. So easy to find. I try to make it as easy as possible. I really do. I do. All right, so over here, so on Twitch, you're going to get, I'm going to kind of move out of the way if I can. YouTube, you've got this setup, and you got the book setup. And let's see where we are at. We have done so much. This book is a bit of a beast. All right, here we go. We're way over here. Oh, my goodness. We need bags 8, F, and S. So I've got my box over here that we'll be looking at, and we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put it, we're on number 349. Put that over here. We're gonna open up our extras box. It's got all of our little things and our brick separators, which is nice. Bags number 10. Let's take care of 10, right? Let's take a look at it and see what we got. So I'm gonna push this out of the way, and just to keep in mind, this whole circus tent thing is gigantic. It is so big. I was quite surprised. It's almost 2,000 pieces, and it's been one of those I never really thought of, like circus and old west stuff, but it works. It really does work. You've got a shooting gallery. You've got little horseshoes. You've got you know, the bearded lady that's got a crystal ball. You've got the guy with the ticket booth. You got a popcorn stand, balloons. Like, it's a little lockbox. It's really cool stuff. All right. So on number 8, pull out all of our pieces for number 8 here. Go, make sure we got it all, and it looks like we're only looking at bags 8. Now, I will go ahead and say, this thing, if you decide to get this particular piece and you're building it, be prepared to be there for a while. So far, we've had 2 4-hour sessions. Now, I'm also chatting and blowing off steam and telling stories and doing all sorts of stuff like I am now. But I will say, it does take a while. And one of the things I ran into when I was working on the cheese farm, which is another Lumibricks set, which is perfect. It took probably 6 hours. I think I set myself up for 4. I was still building way after that. So just keep in mind, some of these sets, they're great. a lot of the wire bearing and stuff, if you've never dealt with Lumibricks, the burying the wires and figuring out where that's going to go and travel, that does take a hot minute, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to push this off over here to the side. We're going to kind of clear our building area. And we need a 2x16. So I'm going to find the half of my brick. And if we got 4, that's 8. 8 and 8. 4 times 4 is 16. We know it's a 2, so we need one of those. We need a 6x10. So half, 5, 5, and 3 and 3. That's a 6x10. We need one of those. 2 2x6s, 1 and 2. And then in our white, we need a 1x10. That's, what is that? 5 and 5. One of those, one of these. Okay, that's all we got. Now, all right. So, those on TikTok, if you're liking this, I thank you so much. Usually on these streams, like, I'd love to join streams, and keep in mind when I'm not doing the 4-hour builds, I'd love to join you all. So, if you ever have a moment where you want to bring me in or send me an invite, I'd love to. If you want to send this invite to others, let me know. It helps out. For everyone else, if you chat, I should see it over there. If not, I'll check it over here. It's been a little squirrely, so if I miss a chat on either platform, I apologize. I love you all. I want to keep you going, keep there, and make sure I chat with you and see what you have. So just let me, if I miss something, just be aware. I'm looking at like 4 different screens right now. It's a mess. It's a mess. I'm a mess. All right. You know, earlier there was a TikTok thing. It was like oh man, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to be on that 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll go here. There was like a viral thing where they're like, hey, you know, post a picture of yourself and then let TikTok, let the algorithm pick out your song. I was like, all right, you know, I'll try this, right? So I did. I posted a picture of me at the setup here doing it. I love some of these Lumibricks. Yeah, dude, the Lumibricks. So, thermoplastic lover, yes, the Lumibricks are amazing. Really cool stuff. If you haven't gotten a set yet, and I can't remember if you have or haven't. I can't remember seeing it on your feed, but I might be wrong. But they are the cat's meow. You know what I mean? Meow. But I did the viral trend, and what I did is I actually, I love the huge sets. Yeah, no, it's, and there's a bank coming out here pretty soon too. So that's, I can't wait. There's like an explosion on the site. It'll be fun. All right. So the viral trend, it was post a picture of yourself. I posted a picture of myself as me right now, and they gave me Ghost Riders in the Sky, which I love that song. So I'm looking to ghost ride this into the very end, finish this build up. You don't have any that they only had kits for Lego. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing though. They are compatible. They are completely compatible. And it's one of those, if you're hesitant about it and hesitant about getting the Lumibricks set up, I might try like one small set. Like if you got some Western stuff and you want to do like some Western stuff, maybe do like the Stagecoach, because I think that one's going to be going here pretty soon. The Treasury Stagecoach is really good, but the Stagecoach, the first one, I think is probably the better of the two. I like both, but better of the two. Try the Stagecoach. If you are into just like town, city stuff, the carpentry van is actually about to retire. I'm going to be building that one soon. I went ahead and bought it. That one's a really solid set so far from what I've seen. And they got some other farm life stuff that's really good. So they got some sets, but maybe just try a small one. See how a small one works for you. If you don't like it, you could always like sell it off. But you know, see, Amazon sometimes will have them. I'd prefer you go to my affiliate link and get it there. You know what I mean? But Amazon, sometimes they have them on sale. So it's worth checking out just to see how they are. And it was one of those that at first I was very hesitant about it, and I decided to kind of pull the trigger and go for it, and it worked out. It was pretty cool. We got lots of people joining. Hey, how are you? We got Trip. Let's see, Matthew. I can't read that. Is that Andrea? My glasses. I'm getting old. Andrea, what's up? How are you? Saying hi to everybody. All right. So we're going over here from 351 to 352. And we're just trucking along. We got another one of these. And then we need another one of those 1x10. So this is all building the base portion of this actual like tent. This thing will have a plate underneath. It'll come up and it has a flag on top, right? Now, what I find interesting about this is that the way that they build the plate and everything, instead of making it hollow going up, they actually have it to where you should be able to lift the plate off, almost like a lid on a ceramic jar, and you could just keep going. At least that's my understanding of it so far. We're gonna go 2 in. This is nope. Looky there. I got some spatial problems today. It's because I'm old. Yeah. I'm gonna say it's because I'm old. Hey, Yellow Mailbox. I know those guys. I know them personally. I miss them. I miss hanging out with you all. I need to see Jordan. It's been a while. I want to see how good your beard's gotten. I bet it's loverly. Hello. All right, we might have to. My book is attacking me at this point, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna have to lay it out like this. And we're gonna have to make some room like so, and we're gonna have to do it this way. I knew it. I knew this book is essentially it's good, real good. This book is essentially as thick as I think I mentioned. It was like as thick as a 2080 like compilation of Judge Dredd. This thing is huge. It is really wild how thick this book is. And I know, like I like how some builds he'll break the books up so it's not too much at one time. Hey, Jamie. But the problem that I have, or I guess the thing with this is that the build is one solid build. So they kind of felt like, hey, we're just going to put it all in one book. This thing it's over 250 something pages. It's ginormous. All right, so it looks like we're flipping this over. I'm going to put this here. We're putting this brick right on the ends. Okay. We're going to do that twice. And I guess that one would go right there. And then this big old guy is going to go, how many in here? Nope. I got to count it one. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And the same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it looked like the picture. Yes. All right. Then we're trusting the process. We're moving on. We're on 355 now. So how is everybody? Anybody got any good builds going on? I picked up a warplane and a couple bicycles that I found on Amazon. So I hit up Amazon the other day just for some generic bricks, and I do like hashtag building blocks set, and I just kind of throw it in there. Most time I do building block set compatible with major brands, because otherwise you get like the little micro bricks. For me personally, I don't like the micro bricks. They bother me. I got one set in, and I was super excited about it. It was a Japanese. It was like a little upholstery shop. Waiting for it. It finally comes in. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to put this together. And I was going to put it with my Japanese fishing village. And then it happened. I opened up the box, and lo and behold, it was all micro bricks. And they were like half the size of Lego. And I was like, I can't do that. That really, not only was I upset about it, but I was like, man, I can't find anything as an alternative for this to put back out there. And so I ended up sending it back. Never found another set that was compatible or a set that would work. 6, 10, and we need a 2x6. So I was uber bummed out. Did not get my fishing village stuff like I wanted. And at this point, I kind of took the village down. At one point, I'd like way back here with this stuff over here. On my desk, I got to clean up, and I've got all this stacked toys. I've been in office process of cleaning and doing stuff for a while. But I'd like to kind of consolidate some of this and actually build a table I could roll out that I could stack the city stuff on. So like some of it would be like coastal stuff, and then it kind of can go up into like some city stuff, and then travel over kind of Wild West, like road trip sort of thing, and try to figure out how to incorporate this. I ended up picking up, so there was a cube that's I think it's a 10 by 10 plate cube on Amazon. And I was like, what I'm going to do with this, because I've got some of the Lego space, like interstellar space. I've got like the mining set and like the loader miner suit, and then oh my goodness, like one of the little vehicles. And so what I was thinking about doing was actually taking it, building bricks around it to make it like a meteoroid, you know, getting some sets of like clear bricks to put behind it, put a LED in it, like it's coming to crash into the city. But at the same time, the space group is on it, mining it as it's coming down to crash into the city. So I was like, that could be kind of cool. And then, you know, storytelling. And then I wanted to build like maybe a big loop thing of clear and put the DeLorean in, and then have like the Wild West stuff over on the side. So in time, I say I have plenty of time. I really don't, but it's something to work up towards eventually, one day. All right, we got our big Superman plate. That's going to go here. And yeah, so that's the bottom plate for the tent top. That should set right in there. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. All right, let's see. These are 2x10s, right? 5, 5, 5, and 5. 1, 2, and 3. We need, what's that? 1x6s. 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 of these 2x4s. I got, let's see, Solomon, Luke, what's happening? Victor, how are you all? Good to have you on. How are we doing over here? Lurk. How, you're lurking again? How's over on my YouTube live stream? Come to lurk, check out, see what I'm doing. My guess is are you cleaning the house today? Is that what's going on? I'll get a response here in a minute, I'm sure. All right, so 2x4s go here. 1 goes here. And then we're going to go up 1 set. Put these in right here. And right here. Right? Yep. And then looks like we've got... Nope. For some reason, we're not doing one side just yet, which is, I think it's kind of weird. It's weird. Weird. 1, 2, 3. That fits right here on the end, right? No, Taylor, it doesn't. That's going to go right here. I guess that lines up there. Well, wait a second. Hold up. Something ain't right. My spatial awareness today is really off. Okay. You're going to have to forgive my old man brain here, okay? So look, I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to look, turn, count, 2. There we go. 1, 2, right? Space there, space there. We're going to go up 1 here. This one goes right on the end here with no parts. All right. And then this is going to go out 1, 2 here. And then 1, 2 here. And these are going to go on the end. Well, hallelujah. Finally got it. And I'm guessing these are all just connector strips to make sure this isn't going to break on us. Hey, Inked, how are you? Glad you're here. All right. Woo! So 361, we're over on 362. And this time, we've got those fun little interesting looking pole things. We've got one of these, and these are like hollow tubes. Now, I had one of these in, and I'll hold it up here for you all to see. I had one of these in one of my Lumibricks sets that was like a small like character set. It's got Lucas and some other people on it. And what I found was that they had that tube in there, but then they hollowed the tube out, or they cut like a slit on it, so you could run the wire up through it. So they have these tubes, and they have it set where they have some that are split and some that are not, so you could run a wire up in it and hide the wire in your build, which is pretty solid. I dig it. All right, now it looks like, all right, we've got this little white piece right here. Okay, so this is going to go up at the top. It's going to go flush at the top based on what their directions are right here. This is going to go right in here. Boom. And then this is going to go right through here. Am I correct? Let's try it. Let's see how that works. Yeah, that's a tight fit. Ah! That's a tight fit. You're not supposed to put it in your mouth, but still, I don't want to break it. All right, here we go. So we've got this interesting thing, and I guess this is going to support like the top portion of this. It's going to fit right in here. So we've already got a spot for it. And then, moving on. If we wanted to do lights on the top of this, we've got a hole here that we could run it through. But all the lights are already set on our actual build of the lights. The way, what they put in there with the crystal side, the lanterns, and then even the lantern in the back of the dressing room is really, really cool. So I dig it. All right, here we go. Looks like we're stacking 2 more of these brick pieces. I gotta be careful. I can't put my mouth on that one this time. 1 and 2. And I have a feeling this might be one of those that if I ever... why in the world do you call me Spam Risk? This will be one of those that if I ever get a... if I ever take this apart, there's a good chance this is going to remain a solid piece from here on out. Because it is so tight putting those on that I really don't want to mess up what I have. But that's a good thing, because then if it drops or you have something going on with it, it should hold up. All right, let's see. We've got these going on. These are 2x6s, but they don't line up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These look like 2x8s and not 2x6s. So I'm gonna go over here to the 2x8s because I have a feeling that these are what we need. 1, 2. I'm checking all the way around. Yep. And then 1. Where's my other one? And 2 right here. All right. Hey, Bama, you're on to... How are you, bud? You doing good? All right, and then we're going to do the 2x6s. So it looks like, yeah, that's it. I missed a step, which is not uncommon, because You know, I think if you follow me long enough, you already know why. You already know why. Hmm. I'm that guy. All right, let's see. We got 8 of these 1x2, or actually they're I guess 2x2, but they're 2x2 crooked little L's. 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 is right there. So we got 8 of those. We got 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 6. And 8. Nope, that's only 7. And then 8. So if you hear me skipping, oftentimes trying to skip the whole 6, 7 thing, it's because I hear it so much at school, working with the kids, that sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to hear it anymore. And I will find myself saying it. And so apparently there's one teacher online that she did a math test. She got so tired of hearing it. She did a math test and every answer was 6, 7. And apparently it drove the kids crazy. And she kind of had to tell them, it's like, this is what I hear on a daily, consistently, over and over and over and over and over. And I guess it got them mad enough that they kind of stopped saying it. I don't know. My kids revel in it. If that was something that they heard every math test, was 6, 7, they would be like laughing the whole time. They would love it. So I really don't want to encourage that one at all. But I started doing so, when it comes Friday and they're like, oh, we got this, or they're like this. I was like, listen, let's stop talking about, the 6, 7 so we can work on Saturday, Sunday. And that started making them mad. It's kind of, sometimes I feel like that's a bit of my lot in life, is just to kind of make them mad. I hate to say it, it's not the way it should be, but, Okay, so these are going to go here. So they've got a little bit of a drop. It's weird because the way that they have it set up is you take these 2 L's, you're going to fit one on top of the other. You're going to put the smooth stud and then these bottle up studs on there. And then these, instead of fitting in the corner, they actually fit right here on this edge. So you put it there, and that's what you got. Let's see, who else? Daddy Chilmwa, how are you? You doing good? And who else I got? Hero Mangabrill. Hey, if I'm butchering these names, I do apologize. I'm gonna call it, let's see. Is it Thero? How are you? It's good seeing you all. Hopefully we get this one done today. Because I'd like to, it's like one of those I like to move on. I know we've got some builders in our community that they will build things for a very long time. I don't have that much attention span, honestly. Though I will say, I've got is it the Lumibricks Haunted House, or is it Moonlight House or something? That one's coming up here pretty soon. That I was able to order that on Amazon. So I wanted to get it on the actual Lumibricks site. And I thought it was going to be exclusive only to the Lumibricks site. And I actually missed it. When it went on sale, at the time I was waiting on a paycheck to clear. Wasn't able to get it. Really bummed. And really bummed because that set is... it's got like a little car that's like a Ghostbuster car, right? So it's very loosely, it's a ghost with a little, X to it. And it obviously not saying Ghostbuster, but you kind of get the impression of what they were going for. And because I do Ghostbuster stuff for charity on the side with the North Texas Ghostbusters, it's like, hey, this set would be perfect, right? I'll throw on my jumper. We'll I'll build the set with the jumper on, and the set came. It sold out pretty quickly, and there was none left. So I was like, oh, that's not good. And then on our program, there was someone that said, hey, it's actually on Amazon right now, and there's like a 40% off coupon. So what would have been normally $120, I got for like 77 bucks, and was super, super stoked about that. So I went ahead and got it as soon as I could. And I've got that build coming up as well. But I'm waiting on it to come in, and it's supposed to be for my birthday. So my wife, she doesn't, oftentimes she's not going to be like, yeah, go ahead and build it for the people. She'd be like, no, you're going to wait. So much like, the Frankenstein Netflix show that I really want to see is coming out in November after the spooky holiday, we might be building this spooky house after the fact. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to do it. I want to build it now. But I also know we've got backlogs of things that we got to build. I've got some bikes. I've got some airplanes. Over there, it's like a P-38 Mustang World War II airplane. And I need to see if there's a pilot that could fit in it. So that way, if there's enough room in the cockpit, I can take it. I can go get a pilot from Mill Blocks, which is our local military block store. And I can fly it around the house until I crash it. Or until I crash. Or until I put it up somewhere and I get told, please put it away. That's usually my life right there. Hey, I love that you are enjoying building blocks right now. I love it. But this is a shared space. So please put it away. Oh. I bet you there's someone here that knows that pain too. All right. Make sure I didn't miss anything over there. No, I'm good. All right. So we've got, this is kind of a weird looking thing here. So I'm going to set this up kind of here where I can see what I'm doing. We've got right into here. So they're going to hold that down. Okay. So we're kind of reinforcing this roof here. And then these, it looks like it's going to go across. Boom and boom. It'd have been nice if there was a way to like open this up, put like storage in it or something. But again, understand what they're going for, and what I'm thinking for the play or the toyetic aspect of it is not necessarily the same for what they're doing for the model aspect of things. So I got to keep that in mind. All right, we need 3 2x8s again. 4, 4. That's 8 matches. Matches. We need 1, 2, 3. 1x6s, and then 3 of these. I actually don't even know what to call these shapes here. I guess they're like 1x4 tall cutouts, so like sliders. I know we use them sometimes for like sliders. You can like put track in it. All right, so how is this gonna work? Looks like we've got let's start with this one. This is going to go on top of that. This goes right in here, looks like. And then this goes on the back end. And do the same thing here. Okay, so it just kind of repeats. I'm kind of, I've got this open area over here, and I'm really kind of like scared of what's going to happen over there. It's like, come on now. And let's see, we're going to go over here. We got 1 and 2 and then 1 right here. Okay. And we need 12 of these little loop-a-loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Hopefully that's all of them. And it looks like 3 of these 1x6s. 1, 2, and 3. And it looks like we've got, there's 2 steps here. So it goes here all the way around. Am I correct on that? Yeah. Looks like nope. I'm not correct on that. I got to go down here, and then here, and then on this side as well, right there. And then one right there. And then it looks like we're going to go up. So these are going across this. And then it looks like the next set goes right up on top of it. So we got 1, 2, and then 3, and 4. Right there. If I can get that to line up correctly. Yeah. Okay. I'll do the same thing here. And 1 right there. All right. And then now we're still, that area is still open. That's a little bit of a concern for me. Everyone please vote. Oh, that's something. So we got something going on with our Ghostbusters stuff. Hey, Ghost Gear, how are you? Hey, Brick Wizard, how are you? All right. So now we're at 372. We need 3 of these kind of curvy looking pieces. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of these 1-bys, and then 9. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So 3 and 3 is 9. We know it because we know our math, and math don't lie. And now we are building this bottom. So it looks like we've got 1, and this is going to go out. 1 of these, and that's going to clip up here on the end. So as I'm building all this, I have a feeling a lot of this is structure. Kind of just something to keep the bottom pieces up as we build the outside. Because I have a feeling all this part is just all structure work. And then when we get to bag 9, I have a feeling we're going to be building out the rest of this. So, we got that one. We got this one here. And then we're going to go over on this side and do the same thing. We still have that one side left open. That's a bit worrisome. So let me ask, my peeps over on TikTok, you would know. So any of the viral stuff, have you ever posted a picture and gotten a song for yourself out of it? Because I'm interested to see what you got. I probably need to go to your page and look, kind of review this, pull some clips, see who was chatting with me at the time, and go see what you got. I like to review that stuff as much as possible and go and see how everybody's doing. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 tall. So 1, 2, 3 tall here. Oof. You know what? I might go 1 at a time on those. So we're going to go 1. Like I said, I have a feeling that once this part's built, if I take it apart, it's not going to come like this. The tube of this is not coming out of the skin. It's pretty solid. It's one of those, if this dropped, I have a feeling it'll be fine. Which, unlike one of my Lego buddies here, Cassie, her husband dropped her Millennium Falcon, the big one, was it the FCS one, and apparently it ran into a wall, broke into a lot of pieces. So yeah, it's that got rebuilt on that one night. But I kept razzing her about it. I'm like, hey, I thought you said you were going to be done. I'm like, well, there was an incident. I'm like, tell me about it. All right, here we go. So it looks like we've got 1, 2, most of all these pieces that are left over here. I think that's what we got. No, looks like one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. So it's weird. I'm kind of, maybe they decided not to put this side on as a point of reference for the other sides. And I kind of wonder if that's what was going on, that they didn't want to get people confused. So they're like, hey, we're just going to kind of go over. Hey, Tiff Tiff, how you doing? Who else I got? Lopez, how are you? All right, and then we're going up with 4 up on these. And it looks like we might have some parts left over. So, with that being said, we got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So far the Saturdays, like the big builds have been kind of my therapy here lately, where it's like that's my biggest way of getting to just drain down from the day, with some of the things going on. So I always look forward to these Saturday builds. I do enjoy them greatly, especially this thing. Like, I can't wait. Here's the thing: once I get like the plates down and I get, my desert, grass and thing back out, and I get it all put together, I'm gonna absolutely enjoy seeing this with the old gold mine, the stagecoach, and try to have everything. I bought like some cheap Dollar Tree bricks to build like little like lumps and bumps in the dirt, because I got like the brown plates from them as well. So with that being said, it's like, hey, got some cheap grass from Temu that was like the big brush grass, kind of like, this brush grass over here. Let's see if I can pull it off. Pull it up there. That brush grass right there. I'll put it up here for you. I found a bunch of those on Temu, and it was like sage and kind of a sage green and like tan or coyote, whatever they called it. And so like I used that to kind of fill up the landscape and add more to it. And I want to say the last time I have a plate set up on like not our kitchen table, but kind of like a side table. And with that one, I put the sage behind like the cheese house and the sunset stopover and the chicken coop to kind of cut down on anything going behind it. So it kind of adds like a little bit of background to it. All right. So we got 9. We're looking over here on 377. Okay. We need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and where is it? 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, and then we got our last 2. And 8. Again, I'm avoiding it like the plague. 1, and then got the other side. So it looks like we got 4 of each of these. They're going to be on each side. So let's find them all. They're in here. I know it. And I kind of wonder if this might be like the very tip top. Because again, like all the other stuff that we built so far, it's all been every other part of this tent, and now we're just working on the last 4 bags are all the last roof things. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then it looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will say I like orange a lot. The color orange, I dig it. I didn't like it quite so much growing up, but I've always preferred red and purple, but I really like orange. And since Lumibricks, that seems to be like the Fun Hole Lumibricks, that seems to be like their main color. I really dig it. Let's see. Kyle. Hey Kyle, how are you? Hey Ricky, how are you? All right, let's take a look and let's see what we got here. So this has multiple steps for its directions. So TayRay here is going to have to pay attention this time. This goes on top. This goes 1 and 2. And then these are going to go on the end. Let's make sure that I have that correct. See, does it look like the picture? I guess it does. So we've got 4 of those to build. So we got 1, 2, we got this one. 1 and 2 here. And then we got that one and 1 for the other side. And 1 more. Let's see, we'll go here and here. We got 1 and 2, and then 1 more as well. So normally I would say, you know what? All right, got 4 of those. And now it looks like we are going into our maroon pieces and we're building up the rest of this, right? Let's see. I feel like I'm missing some things here. Oh, hey Cowboy. Cowboy Jandy, how are you? It's good having you on. All right, let's take a look. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these 2x8s. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 2x6s. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have, let's see, 4 of these smooth. And that's going to be on each side as well. So let's find them all. Like Pokemon, man. Gotta catch them all. Just gotta make sure I put them on the right side, though. Alright, here we go. And then we got 4 of each of these. 1, 2, 3 on the other side, and 4, and the same over here. 1 there, 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 on the other side. All right, let's do this. Oh, hey. Stud Wars, how are you? I'm gonna try some stuff here. I'm gonna see. Okay, well that didn't work. I was gonna try to invite some guests on here. Let's see. I've got some of my well, I don't know how. Actually, I'm gonna have to learn that one a little bit more. So we're gonna continue on for our stream here. Cheap viewers. This time it's dysfunctional backup. Oh, come on now. You know you got something going on if you're starting to get spammed on your live stream. That's so sad. So I was going to try to invite some viewers. I haven't quite figured that out. I've figured out how to get on and visit viewers, and I've done that a few times, but I tend to struggle on others. So if I miss it or I miss an invite, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm trying to get there. Okay. We got that there. I'm going to put this one on the other side. And it looks like we got 2 more. 2 more of these. Boom. You know, a long time ago, I used to live in sunny San Diego, California. I enjoyed at the time. I enjoyed living in San Diego. That was back in the early 2000s, and I lived on this little street called, what was it? It was Colorado, I believe, which I dug. You know, I thought it was pretty cool. And we had this little, it was a bungalow style apartment. So it was like, you know, we had apartments up front there, and it was like a bungalow style house that went down, had a gated community and everything. Parking was awful. You had to park on the street. And if you got home too late, you know, you had to park like several streets down. And the way San Diego is, because we were like right on the edge of North Park. And North Park's kind of this like ritzy upcoming area, but we were right on the edge. And it was weird because we were off of the 80, I think it was the 805, somewhere over there. And there would be like, you know, simple neighborhood, and then you'd walk in. I mean, it looked like a demilitarized zone. It was wild. And so there were a couple times like I had to park down in the areas of like the demilitarized zone. I mean, it looked like unsafe, and so we'd have to, you know, like I was always afraid of walking through there because I had some. It was like, how do I put this? It seemed like everyone was lurking behind a dumpster waiting to jump on you, and it was all back of businesses. And so I hated walking there at night because, you know, even a big dude like myself, I'm going to get scared sometimes. It's okay to be scared. But there was one time I was walking down to 7-Eleven. It was actually in my neighborhood. And a couple dudes jumped out of they didn't jump out, but they kind of came out from behind this side alley of this one business. And they were walking really fast towards me. And I happened to notice. And I used to carry this big old knife on me. And so, you know, not wanting any altercation, I took this knife out. It was a flip out. And I flipped this knife out and I held it out. I tapped it on my leg. And I never saw 2 people disappear faster. So if they were looking for trouble, they didn't want any that night. And I, you know, went to 7-Eleven, did my thing, came back. But there were times that I would notice that there was some peak crime in sunny San Diego. But there was this one, it was a movie, not a movie house, but it was like movie rental. So if you're old enough to remember the movie rental places, Blockbuster, Hastings, et cetera, used to go there all the time at this one movie rental house. And I can't remember what it was called. They had games. It was part of, I guess it's now Game Exchange, but it used to be like in the rental house things. And I would go down there all the time, and I would get like whatever new game was coming out. At the time, the DS was out, so I would go down and pick up some of the DS cartridges. I also had gotten the PSP, the first generation PSP when it came out. So I had that, so I'd go and get games and exchange games, etc. Well, for years, there was this one movie I watched as a kid. And it, you know, the most I could explain on it was that it had like a guy riding a sled through a bunch of triangles. It had like this one guy that was like green, and he had a robotic arm, and he had this plate over his head, and it had the guy from Night Court, Richard Mole, in it, and he had like this thing over his face, and they were wearing all this weird like leather type armor stuff. But I couldn't remember the name of it. And I would ask my mom, and she's like, honey, she's like, you watched so many random movies over and over and over. She's like, I remember Star Wars. I remember, you know, was it Space Hunter, Adventures in a Forbidden Zone. She's like, I remember that, but there were certain things that you watched or you'd rent, and I just kind of was like, okay, and I'd move on. And so in search for this movie for years, I was like, I'm going to find it one day. I know I will. And when I do, it's going to be amazing. So I happen to be. This was back in the days when we had MySpace. I'm kind of dating myself here, so don't make fun of me because I'm old, man. But it was back in the days of MySpace, and I happened across someone's page, and they had, it was like an old movie poster. It was like, see these B-rated movies on the silver screen. I can't remember where it was, like in Moreno County or something. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I looked, and one of them was Space Hunter. And I was like, hey, I know Space Hunter. I at that point, I had Space Hunter on DVD. It was kind of a bootleg copy, but yeah, we know Space Hunter. But there was another movie there, and it had Richard Mall, and it had all the things I remember as a kid on it. I was like, hey, that's the movie, and it was called Metal Storm. Metal Storm, was it Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin. Pretty weird title. And they rode around in these cars that were like, they were obviously like doom buggies with metal plating all over it out in the middle, like maybe like Italy where they were filming it, because it was like spaghetti western style, landscape, or what you'd think of as the landscape from that one movie with the giant van that was traveling through the apocalypse. But anyways, uh, this movie, so I go and I'm like, hey, the next time I go down to that movie store, I'm going to find that movie and I'm going to ask them about it or just kind of look. And I happened to go up there one day. I was getting some games, and I stopped by the movie portion, which I usually never did. Because at this point, like, I would buy movies. At the time, I was actually working for Walmart. I was over in the electronics department, and I was the movie manager. So I put out all the new reset of movies. I dealt with that. So when movies would come out, and using my discount, I'd buy them, and I didn't really worry about renting anything at this point. So I go over to the movie shelf and I happen to look and I see that, yeah, they have this movie, the Metal Storm, the Destruction of Jared Sin, and it was in the case that you'd squeeze and the thing would come out and it still had the box on it and everything. And I was kind of laughing. I was like, man, I cannot believe after it's 20 something years and I finally find this movie. And so I asked the guy, I was like, hey, I want to rent this movie. How much is it to rent? Because I hadn't rented from them before. And he looked up and he goes, he's like, it'd be cheaper just to sell it to you. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I mean, rentals are like $5, but this thing is on sale to get rid of for, it's like $3. Like, sold. I'll buy it. And so I bought this really old VHS of Metal Storm. And surprisingly, it's kind of gotten a little bit of a pickup. Probably about 10 years back, I found it on DVD. So I bought it on DVD. It's the weirdest, kind of most abstract movie I think you'll ever see. It's kind of out there, but it's got this cool performance by Richard Mall as he's the Cyclops mutant. And what makes him a Cyclops is that he doesn't have a center eye. His eye is covered, and all the mass denizens of this particular, cult of people, they're all they're all mutants, and so they all kind of look the same. They have no hair except for like a ponytail, and they have like this wild leather armor with studs all over it, and they have like sais. Out of all weapons, they've got like little kung fu size, and that's the movie. You got the mutant with the arm. I still honestly, and I probably need to go back and rewatch it again, but my DVD player is out right now, so I'm waiting. But it's like one of those where I remember watching as a kid, and not getting the story. It had something to do with some sort of stone, and it was like a magical stone. Something. It's so wild. But anyways, I found it 20 years later. I was so like enamored with this flick that I stayed with it and found it years later down the road. And that VHS is still in my collection. I refuse to get rid of it. There's a few, like, for the most part, like, we have a VCR. For those who don't know, a VCR was the movie media before DVDs, kind of dating ourselves, and before Laserdisc as well. And some of you probably don't even know what Laserdisc are. But yeah, it was a fun little flick. All right, so it looks like these are going to go and sit down right on there. It's weird that it didn't come with a little clip to clip it down, but I don't know. It's still, we're still going, so there's still probably some possibility of doing some things here. Okay, we're over here on this stage here. It looks like we're picking 1, 2, 3 of these. Looks like we need to add them. Oh no, we don't add them. We do not add them. So we're over here on this. Looks like we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or no, 2 and 2. And then 2 and 2. And we're going to be on this side. So the side with the empty slot on here, that's what we're working on. AJ, how are you? And with fitness and passport, how are you? All right, so we've got, this goes here. We got 3, and then 1 stud here on the end. I have a feeling we're going to do something with that. And then we're doing the same thing on this side, but reverse. So 3 in. Stud goes on the inside. This goes on the outside. And that should settle that. So we're done. I think we're done with that one. Let's look, because I know I'm sure we have one more absolute step. So maybe that's what it was for, was that in order to make sure we were getting this in the right spot, they made us do that. So now we're putting the rest of the pieces on. So 1, 2, and 3. Don't run away. And then 1, 2, and 3 right here. So we got 1 on the end. It goes right here. Whenever I look at the directions, I'm like, Lumi, I don't get it. Sometimes I got to stop myself and I got to say, you know, like with Lego and others, hey, man, stop, trust the process. It's going to work. You just got to stick with it. Why is that one not wanting to go in? Oh, I'm not pressing it in. I'm going to blame the blocks. No, don't blame the blocks. That was all me. Straight up, that was all me. And then it looks like 2 of these, and we got 1 of those little red pieces left over. We'll put that in our extras box, because that's the way we do it. So with these are going to go on the other 2 on the back. So we got 1 and 2. That piece is going to go in here. Boom. Because I don't think we need it now. We do not. And now we're on bag 10. My goodness, we're trucking along. Thank you, Brick Wizard. I love it. How are you doing, brother? So we're kind of trucking along. At this point, we've got just the whole top of this lid made. And we're down to the last few pages. Here, I'm going to hold it up here for my YouTube friends. Look, we're on this step. We're on the absolute last step of this build. And well, I say last step. We're on the last bag. Let's get it right, Taylor. Come on now. Get with the program. All right, so let's open up our last 2 bags. I've been debating because I've got some older sets, some old King stuff that I've been thinking about like rebuilding on camera and doing those. And it's like one of those where it's like, I'd break it apart, do that, but then I'm left with like 2,000 pieces or like 900 pieces that are not bagged. And I was kind of trying to decide, I was like, is that really like, do I want to do that? Like, once builds are made, you've made them, how many of you actually take them apart and put them away and then come back and rebuild them again? I'm interested to find out, because that's like one of those where it's like that would be great to do, but I'm afraid that the levels, the putting, like, sorting things is going to be a lot harder the second time around, because again, you don't have bags, and you don't have the bags to, like, put all the pieces in, and you can't, like, necessarily, I guess you could take it, walk it backwards and take it apart, but I don't know, it just seems kind of weird. All right, real quick, my shameless plug, always shameless plug. So Lumibricks, this is the Lumibricks set. This is the Traveling Circus from the Old West set. I absolutely love the Old West stuff. I like Lumibricks. I would not stand behind Lumibricks and sponsor them, be a part of their reviewer program, if I did not believe in the product. And their product is really good. I'm enjoying it. There's been a few people that were like, hey, here lately they've been kind of off. I haven't seen it. I'm waiting on my haunted house, so I'm waiting on that to come in, and I'll, make my opinion on it then. But right now with the Traveling Circus, which is relatively new, this has been a great build. I've enjoyed it. A few things where I was like, we could technically have gotten this or this to replace this and make things more modular. But overall, beautiful build, structurally sound, excellent light kit. So if you're on my YouTube or Twitch, boom, affiliate links right over there in the chat. If you're on TikTok, you can always find that affiliate link. It's on my link tree, which is in my bio. Don't run there yet. Stick with me, please. Hang out for a little bit, and be here with me. But I would say that if you want to check it out, like while this is going on something else, it is linktr.ee/TayRayGun. TayRayGun is what I go by. Makes things easier. I kind of brand it all together. I still do action figures and stuff. For those who knew me from action figure days, I still do that. For those who knew me from, cosplay days, I still do that. For those who remember me from, general troublemaking, I don't do that. No, sir. I do not do. I'm not a troublemaker. Telling you all, I'm not a troublemaker, or at least I try not to be, right? Okay, we're at 387. Let's take a look at what we got. We're gonna sort these out right here, because this is our last bag. I cannot believe that. Last bag, and we only an hour in. I gotta slow down. One 2x6, one 2x8, a one 1x8. Looks like one 1x4, and then one of these little cap pieces. And we're going to figure that out. Yeah. That's going to go there. Goes right in the center. This is going to go here on the end. And that goes right down in there. So again, if you hear yelling over there, that's not a puppy mill. I promise I don't believe in puppy mills. I don't think they're good. But my kid, he's got a friend over, and they're playing some games, and apparently it's getting sweaty. So if you hear a bunch of screaming, that's what's going on. I asked him, I was like, hey, today, kind of keep it down, please, because someone's going to call. They'll be like, there's something going on at TayRayGun's place. It's wild. I was like, no, it's just my kid. He's like crashing. Like, he'll play a game. He's like, Argh! He'll just start yelling. And, we got to a point where we're like, hey, you need to bring it down, man. Like, you need to internalize that a little bit different way right now, okay? But now, these days, like, he's in there, and if it gets too bad, as a parent, I step in. I'm like, hey, if it's causing you this much stress, we need to stop. End of story. We got to stop, because it's too much. And I really don't want you having high blood pressure from a video game. But any other time, and most time it's, him yelling at the boys will play together, and then they basically troll each other and take each other's weapons and stuff on these games. And that's where the aggravation's coming from, is from friends, you know. And so I kind of let them know. I was like, hey man, like if it's that bad, stop. Like walk away from them for a little bit. Come back when you're ready. But for the most part, like what it kind of like tell them like straight up, man, like you get your anger out somehow, and I just kind of go and I just kind of shut the door because we don't want to hear that. I know my wife, she'll be like, I want to take a nap. I'm like, yeah, take a nap. She goes, I can't with that noise. I'm like, I'll go settle it. So I go in there and I'm like, hey man, love you. Ah, mom's trying to take a nap, and then just slowly shut the door as I'm staring at him like this. So, did you get the message, man? Yes. Mom's trying to take a nap. Stop. Oh man, kids are something else. 1, 2. We've got 2 of these. And it looks like the 1x3s, and we got 1 for each side, right? Is that the same? That's the same. Of course it would be the same. Oh. Of course that would be the same too. There we go. There's the other side. Oh, it looks like I got 1 more that I'm missing. Come on, Tay. Get your act together. If your therapy causes you stress, is it still therapy? I guess that's kind of like the idea of was it the old thing? If a tree falls in the forest, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? If no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? That's what it was. And so I've always wanted to counter that, with the therapy thing. It's like, hey, if therapy is stressing you out, is it still therapy? And I would say sometimes it is. Sometimes we have to get bad to get better. I don't know. I probably should use it. I don't buy into it, but I probably should use it. At least talk to somebody about it. Talk about my problems. I got lots of them. What did I do wrong? I think that goes all the way up, doesn't it? No, it goes here. Tay, you did something. Oh, I see. Nope, it goes here. Tay, you did something that's not good. All right, there we go. That's the side of our little building. That'd be a good spaceship panel too. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, 391. We're going over to 392. This time we got 1 and nope, and nope, and there we go. Oh man, one of these, and then 1 for each side. So 1 here, and then we need an opposite side. No, an opposite side. Ay, caramba, mi Dio. There we go. Finally got it. Okay. These are going to go right on the end. So 1 here, 1 here. These can go together. And it looks like we got the 2x4 smooth flat. And then this one here. Actually, as I'm waiting on that little cube thing from Amazon. So again, if you weren't here when I talked about it, so I was wanting to put together like a whole city thing, back there. And I've still got to clean. And I have a lot of this stuff packed, and I'd have to kind of rebuild it and build out. But it's supposed to have like an actual like shoreline that's got like ports. So I've got like some Mold King. It's a fisherman's wharf. I've got like a several boats, like a police boat, a National Geographic Explorer boat, like a dive boat, and then another one that's like a rescue boat. And they got the flat bottom, so they can just sit on the pegboard. And then I've got like it was a dock that has oh man, it's got like a shipping dock, and then I've got like a dock that's got like a pub. It's got like a fisherman area on it and everything. And so I had that up forever, and decided to take it down to make space so my kid had space. So I've got like a small area out in the living room area where we could set up kind of our brick building stuff and look at it. Well, my sets were kind of taking over everybody else's, so I was like, you know what, that's not fair. I'm gonna took it down, and I will find another place to put it up. Right? Hey, Nerdy Blocks. And so what I decided to do is I took it down. I was like, eventually, what'll happen is I will put this, I'll build it up, and I'll make a big area. But I've got some sets that are like space, and I've got some others that are just they're kind of weird. They don't necessarily fit with everything else. And so I've got, my Old West, which I love, and I got the space stuff. But I was actually thinking, I was like, that'd be kind of cool to do a thing where it's like, make sure I put this in the right spots here and here, where I have like this. I ordered it's an 8x8 plate cube that has all the sides, have pegs on it, and I was gonna build up, put on like a little stand, like a clear, tube stand that wants 2 parts, and then try to run like wires in it through LEDs. And then on the back of it, I wanted to turn it and have on the back have clear like flame pieces coming off where I put the LEDs. And then on the rest of it, just cover it in like tan or coyote brown cubes and put my space kits on it. So it's like they're mining this thing as it's crashing down into the city. And so I was like, that could be kind of a fun little thing. It'll be a unique city thing that you don't see very often. And it's like time pause, and this thing is just like there. And then I was like, I was going to put the DeLorean over, like get a DeLorean and put it over with the side with all the Old West stuff, and then have like build like a little like clear like ring thing where it sounds like an explosion where this thing has gone back in time. Bup, 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 bup. So, I'm playing with some ideas just to see, like, hey, what could we do? What could we get? How we get things working. All right, looks like this is going to snap into here. And now we've got this. So this kind of fits down and just kind of drapes right on the end. And now we're doing it again. So I guess we'll turn this. That's pretty beefy right there to pick it up from there. I'm wondering if I'm doing this ahead of time, and there's a good chance I'm doing it wrong, and I could like have this whole thing collapse on me. And I really don't think I want to do a video where I move this into place. Because I'm the dude that's going to end up dropping it. Oh, that would be awful. Okay, so it's like we're building 3 of these. So we've built 1, and now we are building 3. So they've given us the basics. It's like scaffolding learning, They've given us the basics, and now we are going to take it and fix it. All right, here we go. This goes right here. This goes on the end. Hi. 1, 2. I have an old Viking set. Well, I say old Viking set. It's a generic Lego set, or not even Lego. It's a generic block building set. I got to get out of the habit of saying Legos every time. Just making sure that I didn't miss anything. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? All right, good. How are you all? Glad to have you. Glad to have you all here. All right, so the whole thing with saying like generic Legos, I don't want to do that anymore, because there's some companies like you could say they're generic Legos, but they are legit some beautiful building block companies. I'm actually reaching out right now to Fantasy, see what programs they have, work with them. I work with Lumibricks. I absolutely love Lumibricks. They've been a phenomenal company. They sent me my lighting kit when it didn't come in for a while. I actually reached out to Lucas. He made sure it got in the mail immediately. Shipped right out of Capel, which is near me. So they're legit. They are a great company. They take care of their customers really well. And they've got some good programs. So if you buy Lumibricks on the site, they've got some good rewards programs. They're legit. They are a great company. So if you're not familiar with them, you should get familiar with them because they got some good product. And that's what we're building right now, is Lumibricks. This is the Lumibricks, the Old West Traveling Circus. I actually tried to see if I could. There's like a little program that we're in, and I applied to see if I could win the blacksmith set because I was like, how cool would that be, right? And I'm also trying to reach out. Like I got a birthday coming up, and I asked my mother-in-law. I was like, she's like, well, figure out what you want, make a list. And so I made a list on Amazon. But I was like, you know what? I'd like to see. Did I get enough of those? 1, 2, 3, and 4. This goes here. 1 on top, right? Times 3. Okay, I guess I need more. I did not get enough. Anyways, I was reaching out. I was like, hey, that sheriff's office is wink, wink. Don't mind the fact, though, that it's like $70. And if it's not on sale on Amazon, you could just get it on my affiliate link. She'd be like, what? What are you talking about? Either way, I'd be happy with it. And I'd build it with you all. I like doing this stuff. And again, I wouldn't back this company if I didn't believe in their product. Their product is really good. All right, here we go. We are down to the last few of these little plates. Gotta find them all. Got 1, 2. I know they're in here. I just gotta kind of search. Got the little ones. More of these little ones. You know what? I do wonder here. I'm going to kind of skip forward a little bit and look. I kind of wondered if there might, let's see. How many more do I need? I just got 1, 2, right? There's 1 right there, and I just need 2 more. Oh, they're right in front of me. I should be, you know what? They're going to put Legally Blind on my license next time. Hey, Jermaine, how are you? Man, it's been a while since I've chatted with you. Jermaine, he's one of our, he's one of our local artists. I used to chat with him way back in the day. He's got online tutorials on illustration. He had a comic book for a long time. Back in the day when I used to do Comic Cons, I was doing Xenex the Bugman, which for some reason I still pay for the site. I still have everything up and going. I can't access any of my old files, so it's like I was like at one point I was like, should I even continue paying for the site? I'm like, yeah, I'll keep my sites up and going. But I used to see him all the time at the fan expos and Dallas Comic Con. Used to do vendor tables and go and we'd visit. So I've known you for a while. I'm loving the stuff that you're doing lately too, especially on TikTok. That's great. Hey Mel loves bricks. One of my new people that I just started seeing online, chatting with. Hope everything's good today. We are working on this traveling circus still. We're trying to get all this the Lumibricks traveling circus. We're trying to get the tent top made, and then we could talk about it and probably end our feed for the day. That's kind of weird to say because so far it's been 4 hours for each run. The first run we only got through 3 bags, but that was the base, some of the interior stuff, and the lights. And the lights take a while. That's kind of given. That's guaranteed. You have to spend some time making sure you get the lights set up correctly. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 right here. And then 3, and then 3 of these. So we got 3 of each. Boom, 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 and let's see, it's right over there. We should be kind of rounding out on our pieces so we don't have too many more left. 6, and how many more? These little ones. 1, 2, 1, and 2, 1, and 2 right here. Okay, and kind of repeating. So we've got this goes on top, and this kind of fits on the bottom. Then we do the same, we'll go the opposite side, and we'll do one at a time, so as not to confuse this old man. And that'll fit in like that, because I do often, I get confused. It makes me think that the gray is definitely earned. I blame my students for this. It's like I want to blame my students. I also blame my kid. I love my kid, but man, any child rearing, well, that sounds awful, but I mean that's the actual term, like raising a child. It can be enough to put gray in your beard, salt in your hair, and some salt in your attitude. I feel like that a lot, especially with dealing with kids at school too. I'm like, There was one kid, I tell him, like, hey man, like once I start giving instruction, you don't interrupt me, and then when I'm done, that's your time to ask for whatever you need. If it's an emergency, go. But other than that, don't interrupt me. Let me get my 3 minutes apiece to spill what I need to get you where you need to be, and then after that, you can do all the personalized stuff, and then we move on. And there will be kids, like I get done with that, it's like I repeat myself every time. Get done, and then I start teaching, start going over the lessons, start, asking our guided questions, etc. And they're raising their hand, and I kind of look and I shake my head as I'm continuing teaching, like, Mr. L, I'm like, what? I'm like, 3. What do you want 3? No, it's water. And I'm like, really? You gonna ask water? It's like, sit down. And that whole meme of the sit down thing that I think was it Saturday Night Live did. It is not really so much of a meme as it's kind of a regularly scheduled word or a phrase that is spouted out in my class sometimes. And again, I just tell them, like, yo, it's like RoboCop. Give us 30 seconds, we'll give you the world. The thing is, they've never seen RoboCop, but if they had, that's what I would use in my class. They also hear after I tell them voice level and get them what they need and all that, and all of a sudden everyone's up and running around, and I'm like, hey, yo, our champs say that we're on voice level 1. We are supposed to be raising our hand if we need something from me. And you're not supposed to be up going over to your friend to go gossip or whatever. And so I straight up, I'm like, hold up. And all of a sudden they'll go, wait a minute. I go, something ain't right. And they kind of get them back where they need to be. But it is a constant thing. Where you're constantly telling them, yo, voice level, yo. Remember, you're supposed to be working. Yo, you're supposed to be doing this. And it's a lot. It's a lot. If you can't see it in my eyes, it's a lot. Look and see if I've got any, hey, Pawpaw Bricks. Oh, and Little Brick of Fun, how are you? I love getting you shots. So, hey, if you're on the YouTube, Twitch, keep in mind, if you have TikTok and you hear me shouting out these names, I'm trying to make sure, especially my brick building friends, Pawpaw Bricks, Little Brick of Fun, Mel _loves_bricks. go and check out their pages too. Like, go see what they've got going on. Give them a follow. We love our friends here. We want to make sure that everyone gets a chance. So, and I'm eventually gonna learn and figure out how to do the co-hosting live stream thing. I tried it earlier, where I thought I was sending it out to, I can't remember. I thought I was sending it out to Bama, and I ended up getting some really, like, a random dude. I had no idea who this guy was. And I felt kind of bad because I'm like, who are you, man? So if you're around for that, you get to laugh at me. It's okay. It's okay. I'm behind on the times. I'm a bit of an old school Gen Xer. It was the whole thing. There was a joke today about, back in the day, we had to pay for minutes. And it's like, yeah, if you were calling someone long distance, yeah, back in the day, like, if you wanted to talk to someone, they were not in your local area, it cost you, so you had to wait. The whole joke back in the day is we'd call collect when we didn't have a quarter, and we would be at the mall. And I remember it was always such a joke because it would be like the whole thing of, hey, da 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 da, do you accept this call from da 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 da, and it would hang up or whatever. But I remember I would call, and it would say, all right, we're gonna patch you over. Make sure you say your name, and then we'll connect them. And on their end, it would be, hey, and then you'd hear the voice of whatever you said your name was is on. Do you accept a collect call? And they could say no or press a button and move on. And if I didn't have any quarters, I was trying to get a hold of, like, my mom or dad, I would call the house because we didn't have cell phones at the time, and I would be at the mall hanging out. I'm like, hey, come and get me. I'm really needing to go home. I'm done, sort of thing. And so I'd call and be like, hey, it's like, say your name. I'm over by the arcade at the mall. Come get me now. And then on their end, it would be like, hey, I'm over at the arcade at the mall. Come get me now. And they'd be like, no, deny the charges. And then they knew that was their time to come and get me. And that was an ongoing thing. Like, that was, I can't think of anyone from my era that didn't do that at some point. The other thing that we would do is, like, toll-free numbers. When you'd watch TV and they would have the toll-free numbers for, like, Miracle Ear. Like, Miracle Ear would be like, hey, if you would like a, not a sample, but if you would like a, what was it? A document on, the hearing aids, be sure to call 1-800. I kind of always wanted to be a voice person. Oh, there's one dollop if no one knows. Yeah, that's right. You had to do dial, like, one and then do your number as well. I remember when free weekends and nights came up. That was like, whoa, that's the big thing, right? That was crazy. Hey, JD, build with bricks. Yep, you're right. There's one. Dial up. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the one of the things that, like, growing up with phones, like, we'd get the ads that would pop up on TV on, like, satellite or cable, and if you were bored, you could call that number and you could play, because back they didn't have caller ID. They didn't know, oh, this is, Taylor, blah blah blah. Like, let's send the police over and do whatever. Columbia House, exactly. Oh man. Hey, Lego girl. And so what it was is that I would call. There was one time I was bored. I don't even remember what in the world I was doing, but I was pretty super bored. My mom was there, and it was the Miracle Ear that called up, or it was a Miracle ad, and I was like, I'm gonna call him, Mom. And so I took the phone, I set it out so you could kind of hear, and I called him. This is a really nice lady picked up the phone. It's like, Miracle Ear, blah blah blah. She had her little thing that she would say, and I got on. I was like, I need a hearing aid. She's like, oh sir, well, we have. I can't hear you. God, speak up. I can't hear you. And I went on with this like old man character for like probably a good 20 minutes before they're like, all right, well, we'll just have a good day sort of thing, and kind of hung up on me. Knew we could download our songs on desktop. Dude, Bear Share? Oh, man. You know what, kids? Don't ever pirate anything. It's wrong. Piracy is bad, and it's wrong, and you shouldn't do it. But I got a lot of songs back then. I discovered a lot of new artists that way, too. I remember, like, that's how I discovered Interpol. I'd never really heard of Interpol at the time. Like, old Fugazi that I hadn't heard in years that you can't really find. I'd jump on BearShare, type it up. I mean, it took like 4 hours to download. But I remember, yeah, you jump on, you download your songs. Oh, back in the day. These days, you just stream it. You don't even have to own it. And I think that's kind of the idea. Is like, they're, you know, guess what? Here in the future, you can rent stuff, and you never have to own anything. It'd be, yeah. Dude, Metallica, anytime that they could, they would find old James Hetfield. You gotta love him. But anytime that there was any sort of like, they're scamming my albums, and they're taking that money away. He would find a way to prosecute whenever he could. Old James Hetfield. Love him though. Love him, but man, he was not about losing any money. Not at all. Alright, here we go. So this guy's going to go, it looks like, right on the top. And that's going to fit right. Well, right. Oh. Oh, okay. There is a space there. It's going to go just like that. How cool is that? Look at that. Whoa! Drop it, and then bunch of pieces. I just go off camera and cry. Oh, leave me alone. Don't look at me. So this one is saying that it looks like we're just pressing that down. I'm not sure what these are here, but oh, I see. We're picking it up from this. So from this, and then we'd put it on here. So, moment of truth. Let's see. Looky there. Does it fit? It fits. Just like Grandma's old candy bowl, right? So it said people download the songs. Is it? I know it's not from the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's actually, so this is Lumibricks. They have the it's like the Welcome to the Wild West show. So did you ever watch oh man, it's Lone Ranger. Came out in 2006. At the very beginning, they kind of go in, there's like the little circus thing going on, and Tonto's like the old man and the thing. So this is kind of like that same idea. This is like a traveling circus, and it's cool. Like I have a lot of the Old West stuff, and my goal is to take this without shining it. Sorry, Sean. And putting it into my set with all my other stuff. Though I have a feeling, so this is much bigger than my base plates. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to move some base plates around, because I don't think it's going to fit correctly. But yeah, it is Lumibricks. I love them. Yeah, the whole theme, for especially the Wild West. Did you see the bank that they're putting out? So for those, because you're not seeing it over here on this stream, but on my TikTok. So there is discussion going on. So I have a friend here that does Lumibricks builds as well, and like the Old West stuff. And Lumibricks did just put out some things. There was like some leaked images of, it's essentially a space set. We all thought it was going to be like a brand new Cyber City stuff, but it's not. Yeah, that bank is huge. And they have a lit area. So they have this one Old West bank that's going to be coming out. And it's a pretty big set. And this thing has got robbers and like I think a sheriff and like bank security. And there's like an explosion on the side of the bank that's supposed to like blink and twinkle. And so it's almost like you get to play in and kind of round up, put it with the rest of your town where someone's heisting the gold out of the bank. And it's gonna be pretty cool. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to sell off some old sets in order to get the rest of my Lumibricks, my Lumi Old West sets, because that's kind of like my area of focus. Though with the other things I'm getting, I still might try to build it in with the DeLorean and put the DeLorean in the Old West stuff, like, you know. Yeah, yeah, that's right. You are on the chat group as well, so I'm on there too. Yeah, so it got released to us because it got released to us on WhatsApp, but then it also came out on our Facebook chat group, and then the information I think got leaked out even further than that. So right now, Lumi is kind of promoting right now some of their new sets, and they just included space theme to their sets, which looks bomb diggity. And even though my focus has really been like the Old West stuff, there's still a part of it that's like, huh, sure, I could add space theme to my stuff. Sure, let's add this Slubon space station to our meteor strike. Sure, let's add this interstellar vehicle to our whatever we got going on. And so I've got like an old Viking set. I might actually sell that old Viking set, honestly. It was like a generic set. Got it. I probably spit too much for it, honestly. I can't even remember the brand. You know, maybe that'll be one that I should rebuild one day, and chat about it, and then be like, all right, off with you, out of my collection. I will see you later. Hasta luego. Actually, not even luego, just hasta. I'll see ya, because I'm not even gonna see it later. I just go. That thing has, ever since I put it together, and I was kind of disappointed in the size and everything, and I reviewed it on Amazon. And that was like my first big review thing. I was like, I'll review this on Amazon. Big. It's got, some mass to it and everything, but it's scaled down, so your figures don't actually fit in the play areas very well. The the side of the boat tends to fall off half the time, and the weapons, it's like there's like weapons on, like pegged on different things, and they tend to just break off. Do you think this circus suits the Western theme? Yes, I do. So, do you? I was going to ask, do you have the circus set? So, JD's asking. I'm second guessing this build. So one of the things that I do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got one more. One of the things I do like about the Wild West show and the way they got it set up is in the back. And once I build these, like when we kind of break it down, look at it, I'll show you the dressing room. There's some stuff in it that really kind of screams Wild West. Like, it's kind of out there. It's a little bit more out there than what normally we would have for Wild West. Because Wild West is, you think of like gold mining and battles with the Native Americans and cowboys and rustlers and cattle driving and Texans and battling Santa Anna's army, things like that. So it's like one of those where it's like, I don't really see how the circus part fits in it, but there is some historical fact to it that they did have traveling circuses that would go to different towns and set up, usually on the outskirts of towns, like carnivals or carnies, and then it worked. You think they could have added a little more? Yeah, I mean, honestly, so here's the thing. I love Lumibricks, and I love their sets, but a lot of their sets, and where I tend to have trouble with them, is that they have a lot of beautiful, gorgeous, big sets that cost over $100. And so, I can eat up and get all the little sets here and there, things that are more cost affordable for me, and every once in a while I can get a big set. Like I ordered the Haunted Mansion. I had to use a heavy-handed coupon on it. but I can get that here and there, usually around like birthday or Christmas. I can kind of con them and like, hey, let's get this. But for the most part, a lot of the sets I have to either like use like a really big coupon for, or I have to try to review other things to make, money for it, or something to pay for it, or sell off stuff in order to pay for it, because the sets are so expensive. They're big. And the lights, yeah, you're right. The lights are worth it. But for me, I kind of wish that at times they would do, like, if they have this set here that's like a traveling circus set, they might have like a carnival ride wagon thing that's also circus theme that would go with it, or like an elephant holding thing or something like that that would go with it, and then you could add that to it, but it was a little more cost effective set that would add to the lore of everything, because right now we got one circus set, cool, but now we don't have anything else with it that goes, and it goes with Old West, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not a smaller set to go with it. Yeah, they do need to slow down. I think, like, and something that I had suggested, and I've talked to Lucas on WhatsApp, who is the customer service guy. So a couple things I said, hey, what if it'd be kind of cool if they did like custom minifigs or figs that you could customize that reflected like one of the creators. So like if you had some creators that wanted to have like a little minifig of themselves, they could do it. And he's like, that's a cool idea. So he sent it out. And then the other one was, I kind of mentioned, I was like, if we had more beta size sets that kind of fit in with the big alpha sets that could like either add to it or slow down so you could still get theme, it would help. And the thing is, you're right, they are rushing builds, and we have noticed there's been a few times where they're rushing builds, and we're getting corrections in our direction. So like this one was sent to me. This is the first generation Wild West. So here we go. And in that, somewhere down the way, this instruction here changed with the color of the wheel. So it goes in like what is that? Page 216, I think. So, they were getting manufacturing on all this stuff set beforehand and getting books printed and everything else. But then the wheels had to change. And so when the wheels changed, they're like putting like notes that have just stuff in there. And it seems it's like, I'm not quite sure about that. But I mean, again, they're still legit. You have suggested to Lucas. So, yeah, Lucas is good. He definitely, he'll get that over to the main company, or the I guess, what do you call them, the engineers, the people who are in charge of it. So they're definitely good for it. All right, I'm gonna snap this on real quick. Let me take care of these before I forget what I'm. Oh, there we go. So this will go small arm in, and another small arm in. Let me take care of this real quick, and then we'll chat a little bit more, and we'll look at some other stuff. They are retiring some sets, and some of the sets, I found out the carpentry van is one of the sets that they're retiring. So I nabbed that carpentry van while I could, and actually, I was chatting with a bearded blue collar brick builder about it, and he that was one of the kind of the first sets that he got, because it reminded him when he was living in California and working there, he actually had a carpentry van, and the carpentry van was his main source of income. So he was like that. It reminded me of the carpentry van, so I made a little minifigure of myself to go with it. So you're working on a train station, then after that, I want to replace the wires on the train. So I want the train and the train station so bad. I did find, so Insoon has a train, And I feel bad. I feel like I'm cheating on my Lumibricks here. I love you, Lumibricks. Don't get mad at me, right? But Insoon has a train that has like a water well, and it has the train, the tracks, and everything. And I believe there's a little bit more tracks. And I've been kind of on the fence because at one point Insoon's train was like $50, but Lumibricks train was like $89.99. And I was like, I don't have the money for the train and the actual train station, and I would want both. Like that's a given. If you have the train station, you need the train. If you got the train, you don't necessarily need a train station, but it looks perfect to have both. And they look dope, yeah. Now the money is a problem, but that was the thing. I was like, well, if I were to get the train station, I could, in theory, get the Insoon train that's like $40 to $60 cheaper next time it goes on sale. I was like, I kind of want to do that, but at the same time, like I don't know. It's like I've invested all this money in Luma, and I want to stick with Luma, but I also want to make sure I get certain things built and done. All right, here we go. We're add the structure in on these, so we're gonna snap all of these in here, and they're gonna go all the way around. So we're gonna grab our little spider legs. Eek! I hate spiders. Spiders. Why'd it have to be spiders? I have worked so hard on trying to battle my arachnophobia. It's wild. Wild stuff. Okay, so this is going to go and fit in between every other spot. Now, I will say, there's a part of me, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this aspect of it. I guess you could, in theory, put stuff in there and use it as storage, but these tend to fall off. I kind of felt like we should have had a brick or something that would have held the bottom in place. Yeah. I mean, he's saying, for those on the other feed, uh, uh, JD is saying like the money aspect, like wanting to stick with Luma, but then finding out that you can kind of get close to the same thing from another set for cheaper. It feels a bit like brick cheating, but you also got to do what makes you happy, and does it fit with the set, and is it still a fairly reputable company? Insoon's okay. They tend to have a lot of missing pieces, though. I want to get another train and add on to. So the other train, though, I'm telling you, so Insoon on their Amazon, I can't remember. I might have put that on my link tree in the store. So if you go to my link tree at some point and look in the store, I might actually have the Insoon train there. That train, it looks pretty legit. And it's got like the water tower thing that's got like the hose to put into it. It's got, of course, the locomotive. You've got, I think, 2 carts, and then you have your coal cart as well. It looks pretty legit. And it was one of those, I was like, I could see myself getting that and putting it with my Old West stuff. But for me right now, for my Old West, I'm really going to have to find spots for everything to go. Okay. All right, so we've got that in there, and we put our battery pack. I put the battery pack on a long time ago. That sits over here on the back. We got our router on there, and we're done. Oh my goodness. 2 hours in. This is probably the shortest show. So this is the final page. They've got this beautiful picture here of it. And then, of course, you got all this wonderful stuff here. So I'm going to set down here. You got the general store, which is on my list. The old post office on my list. Western Saloon on my list. Old West Sheriff's Office. I'm kind of hoping to get that for my birthday time. And then you've got, steampunk, cyberpunk, town life, retro house stuff. They've got so many wonderful sets. Okay. So let's kind of take a look, round this out. 240 each. So hold on, wait a second. I missed something. So exactly. So I bought the Ewok Village and the barge off of Timo instead of paying over. So yeah, 240 each. I may have to get. So what will be the last one? I think. Yeah, Timo's been pretty good though. Man, I tried ordering from Timo the other day, and they had it was like some sort of gigantic ship. It was like a cave troll thing where it was like it was from Lord of the Rings, like an older set where they were carrying like a barge behind them and something else. And I was like, I'm gonna get these. They were doing like a penny sale. I'm like, I'm gonna get these, and then they're like, hey, you only need like $8 or $10 worth of stuff. I was like, oh sweet. So I finally got to that point where they're gonna do it, and I put on like $8. It's like, hey, add it to the cart. You know, you can check out. You know, here you go. I was like, and I think it was coming up to like $17. Like, oh, cool, okay. It was like, hey, you need $25 more to get these 3 free penny gifts. I'm like, you dirty, cheating me. So I had to go and I canceled it. And they were like, what was your reason? I'm like, I got cheated. I got cheated because you hid where the rules were and you made it seem like I was getting this bargain on these. Instead, I'm paying $17 of a normal $17, but now I got to spend $25 more. Like, come on now, that's wrong. A brick drop. So I was like, you guys, Temu can play you dirty sometimes. You got to watch them. There was one time I added, I can't remember. It was like a button press where it was like you hit a button. It's like, oh no, go ahead and add those over, and then you find out it doubled the cost and add them on and then did new shipping for it. I'm like, ooh, Temu. So when you shop like a billionaire, sometimes I feel like you got to be a billionaire to pay for half the tricks and the shenanigans they throw out. But I have gotten some good stuff from them, including like that vampire stagecoach that I think I reviewed or built that on live stream probably about a couple weeks ago. Pretty cool. Not a bad build. No minifig, but not a bad build. You get lots of horses. And that was kind of cool. All right, here we go. So this is our traveling circus. I'm going to see if I can. I don't know if I can do it on my live stream, but I'm going to try it on my YouTube, and then I'll pull it up here for TikTok. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? They've got lights on the inside. Of course, you've got the whole top here. There's beautiful detail in it all over the place. Cool stuff. Light kit has got, this kind of globe over here glowing. You've got a fire over here. You've got lamp out here. You've got lamps on the interior, and then one on the side, and then on the back in the you've got like a lamp back here. So let's go ahead. We're going to pull this off. Now it says that we can remove it from this portion, so that should be easy to remove from here on out. And then on the inside of this, you've got all this cool working stuff. So you've got the lamps on the back in here. So the lamps on the back in here. You've got over here, you take this panel off. You've got a dressing room that's got a lamp back there as well. And that's where it's like it kind of has that cool Old West vibe. You got a traveling journal over here, hat stands, and just really old school looking stuff, which I dig. I think that this is it's a solid build. I like it. I love the posters on the inside. The one thing that keep in mind about the posters on the inside is this: if you grab the side and you hit that poster, it's gonna pop off one of the poster sides. So you got to be careful with it. And back here, the wires are kind of just exposed that go out to the router. There's not really that much of a play area. It might have been good to put like a plate down here, or like, put some brush or something on top so that's hidden. A couple like little cactus sort of things. That would have been nice. We didn't get it, but still, for all in all, solid build. Adding up the price, yeah. I found out with the train station, some pieces are flimsy. Yeah, when you get some of the wire pieces, they feel a little off, and I think they do that so it can like meld for the wires. But there are a few times where I'm like, I'm a little iffy on this. I'm a little iffy on if it's actually going to stay in place and do what it needs to do. All right, so pros, cons, good, bad. For the most part, the Traveling Circus I think is a solid set. Goes really well with the Wild West theme, in my opinion. I can't wait to put this up with the Wild West stuff to see how it kind of works. And I'll post pictures on here, pictures on YouTube, shorts, things like that, so we can look at it. The trapeze artist is really close inside to the lady that's on the spinning knife wheel. So oftentimes she tends to bump into her. That's a little odd. The parrot on the stand, you can actually move that forward and backwards, which is pretty cool. Uh, Added a cage with the line. Oh, see, now that would have been a perfect beta set. So he was saying, JD was saying that if we had like, let's say, a beta set that had like a cage with a lion in it, or if for this, if we had a cage with a lion in it, or even like a train car that you could pull off to the side, or a wagon that had a lion in it, that would work really well with this theme. Or even like like a thing of booths, like little pop-up tents that had like games in it. And that would be like a small beta set that might be worth 30, $40 instead of 200, kind of like the cowboy camp. And you could still add lights to it, maybe like one string of light that has like one lamp and like one fire or something. Nothing big. And you could add to it. So I think that the idea with the Old West Circus is that there should be plenty of room to add to it, to give us more stuff down the road. But how does that sit? I'm gonna turn it and see if it sits better this way. No, it does sit this way. Okay, it just kind of sits on top. I'm gonna set it like that and just kind of push off. The roof is a little weird, and I probably built it wrong, but you know, I have a feeling I'll go back and look at it. For the most part, I think Brick Rise, for what we're getting, it's worth the price. It really is. This is what they sent me. I've been checking it out, looking through it. I know I've had to miss something in there, but it is definitely for what we're getting for the cost, for what we're getting as far as the brick build itself. It's going to keep you entertained for a while. It's if you had to add up the time at this point, it's been so that's 10 hours worth of a build that we've been building this over a series of 3 days. So yeah, there's a lot there, and I think it's definitely worth the money aspect. I love the fact that we got a cowboy. I like the fact that we got a clown, like an Old West clown, and it comes with a different color hat. The hat technically is in the dressing room in the back. So if you go over here and look in the back, there is a hat back here on the stand. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's a hat back here on the stand. You could take that off. You could put it on your clown, and you could switch out hats. So there's even like the knife lady. I think she's supposed to be like the fortune teller. Lady Mira is her name. And you can take her hair off, put the hood on, and she could be the fortune teller off on the side, the old gypsy woman. And I don't want to say that, but that's how they would think of it. It's like the old gypsy woman with the crystal ball. Woo. So, cool set. The Master of Magic is pretty awesome. He does not come with an extra hair piece, so his hat is on there. If you want to do a hair piece, you're going to have to pull it off somebody else, because we did not get an extra hair. That might have been a cool thing to have, an extra hair, so that way if you wanted to have him holding his hat with the hair on, another thing that would have been a nice kind of changeover. So far with as far as the Old West, so far with all the stuff that I have. So I've got the Treasury, Stagecoach, the Old West Stagecoach, the Gold Mine, which is probably one of my favorites. It's the most toyetic set for me. And then the Cowboy Camp, which I'll be putting together. I've enjoyed them so far. You ordered a cowgirl. So I actually found, and it's the Lego bricks. So I did find, we have a store here in Denton, Texas, that's called Mill Blocks, and they had a bunch of the cowboy characters that was supposed to be like Wyatt Earp, David, or Jim Bowie, Davy Crockett, which they've been out of stock, a cowboy girl that had like a gun and like a hatchet, I think. And I ended up finding them on Walmart, and you can order them on Walmart as well. So if you didn't want to get it on Amazon, or if you wanted to get like a full set of them, I picked up a set of 6. It's got a cop, like an old Irish style, English cop, um, a Wyatt Earp looking character, Davy Crockett looking character, Jim Bowie looking character. It's got Dynamite, Cowgirl, and there's something else in there. It might be a Confederate soldier. I got those as a set, and it was from Red Dead Redemption. So if you type in Red Dead Redemption minifig, I think building block, it pulls up. That's the pack I got, and I've got, I think, extras, and I started switching up parts and kind of making my own. Also seeing a cowboy Clint Eastwood type look. $99. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Sometimes you can go to the comic shows, you'll find like they have like the generic block characters. I got a bunch of Luffy and Zoro and some of those characters for my kid before Lego was like, hey, we're gonna carry One Piece figures. You're like, oh wow, okay, I see how it is. I see how it is, Lego. I'm on to you. I'm on to you. But he got some of those. He's got like Demon Slayer, but it was all like from these traveling shops, and I'm not sure like where there's like one place to go. Anytime that we hit up like a little convention, we'll look, and there's usually like Lego stuff there. But yeah, the cowboy minifigs, you just like Amazon's got them. They had one set that was all, I think, all 6, and then a horse and a carriage, and it was like backpacks or like guns, or there was something extra with it. So you got like a couple horses and stuff. I wanted to get it, but at the time I think they were offering it for like 30, and I'm like, I'm gonna hold off a little bit, because at this point it's like I wanted to get the cowboy camp's what it was. So I really wanted to get that cowboy camp, and I have a feeling. So now that we're done with this and we're trying to figure out, hey, what else are we gonna put together? I've got some small things. So during the week, I am gonna see if I can't jump on and do some live streaming. Okay. Maybe an hour or so, kind of doing some small builds here and there, and maybe split up the builds, chat with you all. See if I can't figure out this thing on how to invite people, so that way I can chat with some of you in person. What? And I can mic my phone so YouTube and Twitch can hear it as well. But I want to figure that out, and so I think for Saturday builds, I might pull out another Lumibricks set, or I'll kind of look around and see what I have. But we'll get some more builds in there. Yeah. So the what is it, the Spider-Verse figures right now? They have a Cowboy Spider-Man that I'm also after. I want to find it, but I have not seen the Spider-Verse Lego minifigs out. And I use the app, I think, to scan to see what minifig, and I can't remember if they've updated with the Spider-Verse on there. So I'm looking for it. Eventually, I will find it, because I think that's the only one I want out of there. 2-person chat. Yeah. So earlier I tried, just like I tried inviting someone, and it did something weird. And it invited this. I don't even know who the guy was. It invited someone kind of random, and so I was like, "How are you?" And he's like, and then he just kind of jumped out of it. So I'm not sure, like, I'll figure it out. I promise. I'll figure it out. We'll have like 1 hour show thing where I can get it. Yeah, and I might just set it up where, like, from here on out, we do like a request to join. So that way, when I do like the builds in the week, because those tend to be a little bit more like smaller, nothing to it. So next build I get, and I'll post it on TikTok and on Instagram for those that are on this channel. When I do the smaller builds, and we have like a little night thing where we're kind of chit chat and everything, I might even say, hey, send me a request so I can say yeah and get you on there, and we'll get it going. I think today, though, I think I'm done with this one. So all in all, overall, I think this build is a pretty solid build. Last time for me to have to throw in all my shameless plugs. And I'm shamed. I'm so shameful for saying it right now. And I want you to understand. I love you all, but I'm shamed for saying this. I do have an affiliate link with Lumibricks. I would ask that you would go and click on it. Check out the store. For those on TikTok, you can find my affiliate link. It's actually on in my bio. On my link tree, I had the Lumibricks link there. You just click on it, it's the middle of the page. Gets you what you need. Clicks, even going and checking, it helps. So it helps the channel, it helps me. Anytime that I see another one of our creators that's got a Lumibrick thing, I like to go and click on theirs and check it out whenever they post it, because I want to go and help them out as well. And we need the clicks, we need the sponsorship, we need those things. For those that are on TikTok and Twitch and Facebook, that link is over there in the chat box. Definitely go check it out. The clicks help. If you want to buy, you know what? If you want to buy me something, you can use my link. Buy me that and then help me get my money back for it. No, that feels kind of wrong in a way. It feels kind of like not illegal, but it feels kind of immoral. Maybe. I don't know. Hey, Master Metal. So I think that's it for today. I think that's all we're gonna do for the Lumibricks Traveling Circus, the Old West Traveling Circus. I will go ahead and tell you, 1,962 pieces later, my back is sore. I'm loving this. I can't wait to move it over, see how it's gonna fit with everything else. I dig the set. I think it's really cool. I definitely think it's worth the money. It's worth checking out. Some cool things. Hopefully Lucas is watching this at some point. He can kind of see we made some suggestions on some things. You know, like when you have your brick builders offering suggestions, you definitely want to check it out. They're good for that. They definitely listen, and so they will get in some stuff there. I think today, I know you were asking starting up station after supper. What time are you doing station work today? Are you going to be doing any? Well, hold on. So those on this live stream, I'm also chatting on TikTok here. So JD Build with Bricks is who I'm chatting with. He's one of my TikTok friends that's a brick builder. So say about an hour maybe. Okay. If I'm on, here's the thing. If I'm on, and I'll send an invite if you got an open show. I'll find like a little build to do it. I also had to check in on these kids to make sure they're doing it. I'm done. It's really, really quiet over there, which has me really concerned that they've done something that they're not supposed to do. But I'll check and see. If you're up, I would love to join your show and see what you're building, chat with you, see how things are going. Maybe we can get Blue Collar on there too. He's been doing some good Lumibrick builds as well. A little quiet, yeah. That's got me worried. I don't hear any screaming or pitter patter of combat boots in there, so who knows what they're doing. All right, everybody. All right, fam. So I'm gonna go ahead and say bye to you all. I will see you all later on TikTok. Take care, and I hope you had fun. Love you all. All right, for my live streams on my YouTube and for my Twitch and my Facebook. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me here. Really enjoyed it. One more time, for good old sakes, if you need my affiliate link, it is right over there in the comments. You could also find it on link. So it's Linktree, but it's linktr.ee/TayRayGun. And then it's mid-page right there. That's got my Lumibricks affiliate link. If you want to get something there, please get something. Again, I wouldn't stand by these bricks if I didn't believe in them. I think that they are amazing sets. They're really good stuff. I'm so happy to be done with this one. I can't wait to find out what the next one's going to be. I will say at this point, I will probably do another Lumibricks, and I'll probably start trying to find some few other things here and there to build. But I still want to make sure that I'm keeping up with my Lumibricks backlog, because I do have a bit of it. All right, that's all I got to say about it. It's a cool set. You should get it. You should buy it through my affiliate link. Buy it, enjoy it, build it, share it, let people know how much you like it, especially if you like Old West stuff. But I'm out today. I'm out early. So remember, I love you. Jesus loves you more, and there's nothing you can do about it. Happy building, and I will see you next time.